Hey everybody, how's it going today? I am down in Houston, Texas right now, working the business, and I had a pretty cool seller story I wanted to share with you guys. It's been quite the last few days as far as the events that have unfolded on this house that we're buying recently, and I actually posted about it on Instagram, but I still haven't figured that out, so I'm going to tell the story all over again instead of trying to share that again on my Facebook page. So we got a house. We sent out a postcard a couple months ago, and a whole round of postcards, and these people called us, I guess, about a month ago. We've been working on buying their house for about a month, and we found out actually we agreed on a price and everything. They seemed pretty motivated to sell, and we couldn't really figure out why. And then after we had the house under contract, we found out that they were headed to foreclosure in a month. And so we really didn't have much time to get this deal closed without everyone losing the house to the foreclosure auction. Their credit would be destroyed. Obviously, we wouldn't have a deal. And so we've been under the gun, Clint and I, for the last couple days now, trying to get this house and this deal done with these sellers. And part of our agreement with the sellers was that we get access to the home to clean it up, for one, get the yard mowed. It was very overgrown. These people have been living almost in the dark for the past couple weeks. They only have a few light bulbs on in the house, and I think that's because they didn't want to do any improvements to the house that was going to be taken away from them through foreclosure. So they've been living in the dark, and it's pretty dirty and grimy when we went in there. And so our strategy is to actually buy at a discount and then just list it on the MLS and sell it as is. So we're trying to get all our team into the house. So what happened was we've been calling the last few days, and both the owners' cell phones have been turned off. And so Clint and I drove an hour and a half down to the town of Texas City, which is south of Houston, and we knocked on the door, and we waited there probably a good 10 minutes, and finally someone answered the door. And there was this woman that we'd never seen before who answered the door, and it was about noon. She was still in her pajamas, and she looked like she was definitely on some kind of drugs. She had no idea what was going on, but definitely we could tell something was awry because she didn't really know where all the owners were. She said that the one woman that owned the house was in jail, and that was a big problem for us because we've been trying to reach her, but it answered our questions as far as why they weren't answering their phones. So we told the lady, look, we got to buy this house, and if they don't contact us within the next few days, they're going to be in breach of contract. We're not going to be able to save them from foreclosure and help them, move on with their lives and the tough situation that they're in. So in the last few days, Clint and I have been trying to track down where the sellers are, what jail they're in. And so our questions are, how do you buy a house when the sellers are in jail? So we called the bail bonds company, and they couldn't find them in their records as far as what jail they were in. And finally today we got a phone call from the lady, I guess her mother, and she had been talking to the daughter that's in jail. And I guess the daughter's been concerned about getting this deal done too. So she luckily reached out to us. We found out that the husband of the seller, he's not getting out of jail anytime soon. But hopefully the wife, who we've been mainly talking with, is going to be getting out of jail. So now the question becomes, what the heck do we do? I don't even know if we can buy a house with someone, get the contract signed when someone's in jail. I'm assuming that we can. We can just get a mobile notary or something to come down, and if we have to, get them to sign the papers from jail, I guess. The other option we might have is to get the lady's mother to get power of attorney, and then hopefully she can sign all the papers to get this deal closed. So obviously we want to get the deal closed because this is our business and we've got plans to get this house sold. But we also do want to be able to help these people, and if they lose their house to foreclosure, obviously their credit is going to be slammed in a negative way. So that doesn't help all their other problems. We also worked out a deal so that they could get some cash to walk away with and move out with and things like that. And that's another moral dilemma that Clint's my partner, that we're facing is we made a deal with the sellers to have a big chunk of walk away money And we don't want it to be a negative in their lives if it is a drug situation. We don't want to put a lot of cash into their hands if they have drug problems, which it appears they do. So then it comes to, well, is that any of our business anyways? I mean, does it really matter? I guess not, but we just don't want to, have it be worse because suddenly people that are having an obvious problem, we just don't want to make it worse, right? So that's a dilemma that we're facing, a moral dilemma. So I don't really have an answer to how we're going to buy a house when the people are in jail. We even thought about maybe bailing the lady out and helping her out that way so that we can get this deal done. But what we did find out is it's going to be vacant by Monday, so we're going to have access to the house, hopefully, so we can get our part of the deal done on time. So, pretty crazy story. Hey, Christy, how's it going? I thought I'd share it just because it's really interesting that, we work with just so many different kinds of people. And every time you think you've seen it all, something new happens, and it's a whole other learning experience. And it's such a people business. It's not about numbers. It is about numbers, but it's just more about people. Being a real estate investor, it's about relating to people, solving people's problems, and knowing how to relate to so many different groups of people in so many different situations. And a lot of times it's not a happy situation that we're dealing with or we're helping people through. And so you have to really be good at helping people help themselves, really, and guiding them through a process to help them see the light on the other side a lot of the time. Anyway, so I thought I'd share that. I'll fill you in next week and see how it happens and how things go. Hopefully from the house, and we'll be inside the house and you can get a chance to see that as well. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of the comments here. All right, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.